What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Season 2 of my NHL 23 Philadelphia Flyers Franchise Mode Series. Can't thank you guys enough for the support in the first episode. If you wouldn't mind leaving a thumbs up on this one as well, I'd really appreciate it. As you guys can see, we're currently 5-0-1 in the preseason. Patty Kane there's got 8 points in 6 games, so big free agent signing for us was Kane. Meant to trade him to Chicago for Michkov, didn't work out. I asked you guys what to do about the Michkov situation. If you guys missed the last episode, we didn't make the playoffs. We actually almost did. We were 1 point shy, so somehow this Flyers team we're trying to rebuild with was very competitive. You can see there the Avalanche actually went back-to-back. So we ended up picking 4th overall and got Leo Carlsson. I'm trying to trade him now for Michkov, and I'm thinking the best way to do that is to play him on this top line between Bo Mikir, who we absolutely stole, the 18th overall pick in the draft. You guys can see 82 medium elite, 91 shot there. Also playing them with Patty Kane, of course, has amazing hands. I feel like if this line goes off, Carlsson jumps a bunch in rating. Should be able to trade him with, Kane, a first-round pick or something for Michkov. I saw a lot of you guys saying change the trade difficulty to easy. Well, I tried that with Carlsson, Kane, Sanheim in a first, and they still said no. So we need Carlsson to jump up in rating. Second line there, you got Konechny, Couturier, Tarasenko, also getting a +5. So that top 6 is honestly looking nasty. Third line, Farabee, Frost, Tippett. That's also very, very solid for a third line. Fourth line even, Allison, Cates, Delorier. I don't mind. Defensively here, Sanheim had an absolutely unreal year last season. I don't know how, but he put up 84 points, 82 games. Before that, his best ever year was 35. I've done so many sims. I've never seen Sanheim do that well. I didn't change him or anything like that. You can see his shot accuracy is pretty low. That's actually after growing too. So I don't know how he pulled it off. Playing with Ken York on the top pairing, get a +5. We got Tardin Grand second pairing. Holden Walker on the bottom. Goaltending wise, we got McAnamy starting, Peterson backing him up. We actually had to trade Carter Hart for the 18th overall pick to get Bo Mikir, which I think was definitely worth it. In terms of the power play, you guys can see that first sheet is pretty stacked. Again, Carlson's out there trying to get more ice time, trying to get him, put up more points. Second power play looks really good as well. Even the 4-man, you can see +2, +3. Now in terms of the PK, of course, we got Couturier out there. Honestly, probably could use like a better defensive defenseman on this team, but we're still kind of in no man's land. I really don't know what to expect from this team. Like, we're better than we were last year, and we just barely missed the playoffs. But last year might have been a fluke. Also, too, we don't have as good a goalie anymore. Like, McAnamee's our starter there, 82. So, really, your guess is as good as mine. We'll have to start simming and see what happens. AHL team, definitely excited to see what they can do. We got an 81 Cutter Gauthier with an 81 Bobby Brink on that first line. They could be in the NHL, but this doesn't really make sense for them to be on the 4th line. So, rather than tear it up in the A. Second line even's got Stan Coven and Forster. They get a +3. Playing with Alex Nylander there. They got Desnoyers in the third line. I feel like, this team's looking pretty good. Defensively, really nothing. So ideally, if we get a top 5 pick this year, get Kiva Hardy, that'd be pretty awesome. Backup goal in the AHL, Tristan Lennox. For some reason, Islanders never re-signed him. Same with like Portillo on the Kings. Hunter Jones, I think, on the Wild. So I made sure to go through and extend those guys' contracts. So that shouldn't happen once I release my roster. And one more thing I gotta show you guys before we get to the ratings is the captaincy. So I gave Couturier the C, as the Flyers do not have a captain. Also, too, I gave the second A to Sanheim. Before, I think it was Konechny and Lawton, or maybe it was Sanheim and Lawton. I know Lawton had one, so I had to give out a new A. And then, like I was saying, next year I'll show you guys the ratings for this second year. As you can see there, we've got 90 offense and 90 defense, 80 goaltending. Tarasenko, currently the highest rated player. Let's see what happens here. Now, this is an interesting one, guys. The Florida Panthers just offered us Sergei Bobrovsky and a second-round pick for Patty Kane, a 6th. If you forget, Bobrovsky actually played for the Flyers back in the day before going to Columbus. I feel like I'm going to say no because I'm hoping Kane can play well, go up in rating. We'll trade him Chicago for Michkov. And so now, guys, rather than December here with a record of 20-16, we're actually currently in a wild card spot there. Yet to lose a game in OT, I see, which is kind of funny. Leading scorer right now, Patty Kane. Look at that, over a point per game. So that's why I did not trade him for Bobrovsky. We're hoping to flip him after he, hopefully goes up in rating. AHL team there, 6th place in the division with a negative record. I thought we brought enough guys, hopefully, make them better. Apparently not. They do have a pretty weak defense. And Desnoyers there is actually leading scorer, which is pretty surprising. He's on the 3rd line. Hopefully, Cutter Gauthier, one of those top prospects, can put it together here. Alright, guys, we're at the trade deadline now with a record of 35, 25, and 2. We're actually 3rd place there in the division with 72 points. Very surprised how good this team is doing, just with such a weak defense and goaltending. Patty Kane still putting up over a point per game. AHL team, Desnoyers the leading scorer. That team, 6th place. Doesn't look like they're making the playoffs, unfortunately. So, some work to do with the AHL team, but I mean, right now, I would say we are more buyers than sellers, which is pretty crazy. Obviously, I'm not going to do anything nuts. We're still, sticking to the plan, trying to build to the draft, add prospects, add picks. Alex Pietrangelo there, like, we're not going to go for him, or Allmark there, Bobrovsky, Varlamov. Oh, is it the top 5 players are all goalies? I don't think I've ever seen that. It's pretty funny. Fleury's there as well. Kevin Hayes, Bray McNabb, Zuccarello, Gustafson, another goalie, Duclair. So, we'll go and take a quick look at Michkov, see how he's doing with the Blackhawks. I feel like even though he's not on our team, I consider him one of our players. All right, he's only grown by 2. He's a 79. He is in the AHL too, which is good because you don't want him in the NHL until like the 4th season of the franchise, I think. In real life, he'll be coming to the NHL by 2026, maybe 2025 if the Flyers are lucky. So Carlson there, I think, has gone up a bit in value, maybe 81 overall now. He's gone up by 1, having a very solid season. 54 points there in 63 games is not bad. I'm imagining he can actually, make a run here at the Calder. Check out McAdamy's stats here as our starting goalie. Only need 2, 904, 307. Not too bad. Goals against are pretty high, but again, our defense is pretty rough, so to be expected. I'll look around the league, see if there's any good young players on the block that makes sense to trade for. So far, though, I've not really seen much. All right, guys, now next year I'm trying to trade the Calgary Flames to get Matthew Wood. They actually just drafted him 16th overall in the first round of the 2023 draft. He's got high top 6 potential there, 70 overall. I don't think I've actually ever had him on a team, so I think it'd be kind of cool to get him. Plus, we're currently 35 and 26. The chances of us getting a player as good as him with our first rounder is very, very slim. So if we can do this 1-for-1, that'd be great. I'd even be willing to add a little bit. Trades rejected, quite close to fair value. We love seeing that. Could throw on just the Winnipeg 7th. I mean, yeah, we might as well do that. Don't have a 7th the year after. That'll do. There we go. Okay, so I think it's a great trade for us. I'm not exactly sure why they're doing that. Like, they're just above 500 team. I feel like they should keep him. Say with Coronel's on the block too, but whatever. And now next year, guys, are trying to make another trade for a prospect on the block in Christian Kyrou. Dallas is actually having an unreal year right now. They're 41 and 17. He's a pretty solid defensive prospect, 2067, medium top 4. They got him second round in 2022. Also, too, I saw they drafted Tyler Peddle. You guys don't know, he actually was the last pick of the 2023 draft. I think it'd be kind of cool if we get him and eventually have him make the NHL. So, offering up a second round pick this year. Carolina's pick, that is. They're also playing very well. And then Petrel here, medium starter goalie. We've got a bunch of other better goalie prospects. The value's pretty equal. And there we go, yeah, trades accepted. As I was about to say, both of those things were on the block. As I mentioned, too, Carolina's playing very well, so that should be like a late second. Again, I doubt we get a player as good as Kyrou, so just trying to make sure we get the most out of our picks. Also, you guys, looking to see how good Florida's doing right now. As you can see, they're just above 500, which is really good for us. Ideally, they'd be negative, but we have their first round pick. If we can luck out with them missing the playoffs, this ends up being like a top 15 pick. That's awesome for us, especially since I didn't get a second and first round pick last year from the Provorov trade due to not being able to move picks. And the trade deadline is now complete, guys. We'll take a look here and see all the other trades around the league. A lot of picks being moved there at the end. Alexander Carrier to the Florida Panthers. Let's see. Chaika there, the Preds. Our trade for Kyrou. A lot of picks. Oscar Olsen, the Vegas Golden Knights. Adam Henrique there, the Buffalo Sabres. Our trade for Wood. Bobrovsky goes to Buffalo. They actually are in need of a goalie, assuming none of the young guys, Levi, Luukkonen, have gotten better yet. Luke Schenn to the Rangers. Hiddle to the Preds. Wow, what a return for the Preds there. Vegas Golden Knights get Fraser Minton from the Maple Leafs for Braden McNabb. That's a pretty big player to give up. I was actually thinking about trading for him. 85 overall, defensive defenseman, exactly what we need. Anthony Duclair there going to the Flames. John Beecher, the Ducks. Daniel Booth there, the Montreal Canadiens. Martinez to the Jets. You got Thomas Novak to the Canucks. Interesting, Preds getting rid of him. And Lyubushkin here is on waivers. 1 year left, 2.75. 79 overall. Very good defensively, which, like I said, is what we need. I'm actually going to claim him because we already got like 3 79 overall defensemen anyways. I'm sure he's probably better than Tard, and just going to be there for like the last month and a half anyways. And after the trade deadline, guys, we need an update look at the team. Obviously, no change to NHL forward group. Defensively, though, I did sub in Lyubushkin. Again, he's very solid defensively. 90 D awareness, 85 shot block, and stick check. Now, he's got like no offensive game, as you can see there. 70 offensive awareness. Passing's low, shot accuracy's low. But we've got a solid stay-at-home defenseman. Hopefully, keep the puck out of the net. In terms of the AHL team, Matthew Wood's playing on the third line there. You can actually see the X factors he has on him now. And his other third line with Abrazizi and Desnoyers, who of course is leading the team in scoring. So hopefully they continue to do well. Also, too, guys, I want to take a look at contract extensions right now. So Owen Tippett here, we know needs a new deal. Asking for 5.5. He's currently got 36 points, 63 games. I feel like he might drop to an 85, 84 even. So I'm going to wait. Probably can get him cheaper. Let's see. Wade Allison there. Honestly, doesn't matter. A Tard, if we can get him cheap right now, 1.1 for 2 years, actually really good. Even as like a bomb-playing defenseman, he could get up to an 80. Holden there's 36. I probably don't want him again. Lyubushkin, as I showed you, very solid stay-at-home guy. 2 years, 1.275. We can like do, I don't know, 1.15. Have him and say a Tard on the bottom pairing next year. Walker, I don't think he does anything too spectacular, so probably just let him go. That Day Laurier contract is so bad. McAdamy there needs a new deal as well. He's been okay as our starter. 24, 3 years, $2 million bucks. See if he does 1.9. I really don't mind that. Also, guys, look at the AHL team here. Bobby Brake needs a new deal. Should be cheap. He's in the AHL. 2 years, 1.2. Okay, so we're gonna have a lot of money. I mean, let's see. Is he gonna get good for us? Probably. Especially if we're trading away Carlson and Kane from Michkov. Maybe we have to throw an extra player. Should get called up. Let's try, I don't know, 4 years, 2.5. Obviously, you're overpaying him a bit right now, but should we save me money down the road? Tyson Forster, $2 million for 1 year. Actually gets cheaper at 2. Very strange. All right, let's just do a bridge deal on him. See if he'll take, like, I don't know, 185. And there we go, guys. Labuschkin accepted his contract extension. I wonder if that's the first time in NHL history a guy got extended immediately after getting picked up off waivers. Bobby Brink as well said yes. And Forster, Tard, and McAnemy. So everyone agreed, which is nice to see. All very good contracts. All right, guys. I think this game hates me. We had a pretty good record this year. 43, 35, and 4. And you can probably already tell where this is going. We missed the playoffs with 90 points. Are you kidding me? What? The Penguins there at the last wildcard spot in the East with 92. For some reason, we had like this crazy losing streak after the deadline. Apparently, they didn't like us getting Labuschkin, even though he's better defensively than Attard. Like, right here, we lost how many straight games? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight games from the Penguins to the Panthers. If we literally just win one of those, we get in over the Penguins because I believe we have the tiebreaker there with more wins. So that is terrible to see. Like, you can't lose 7 straight. Again, though, the fact that we were literally the best team to not make the playoffs in the East, like, what are the odds? Also, make matters worse, the Panthers got in, and they have less points than us. So we could have traded their pick instead of ours. I swear, if our pick ends up being a lottery pick, I am going to freak out. But what are you going to do? I guess, you know, sometimes that happens. Again, that's got to be some of the worst luck I've ever seen. Vesalainen there actually went down as the leading scorer in the AHL. NHL-wise, Patty Kane, 86 and 82. He's got to go up in rating, right? Like, over a point per game. He's still an 87. I feel like he should jump to, like, an 88. Tarasenko at 71. Leo Carlsson there, 68. Again, he's definitely going to go up. I mean, almost 70 points his rookie year. Couturier, Sanheim, both 58. So, not as good of a year for Sanheim, but 58 for D-Man is solid. Konechny, 56. Bowmik there at 54. Frost, 52. What is that? I think 8 players on the team, 50-plus points. Very impressive. Owen Tippett was close to 46. Sam Farabee at 44. York definitely needs to start putting out more points. 25 for an offensive defenseman is not good enough. Goaltending here, McAnemy, 902, 308. So, again, I can't believe just the no man's land we found ourselves in 2 years in a row. Like, how unlucky is that? Brink there finished with 50 points in the AHL. Same with Matthew Wood, 27 goals. Gauthier was close. Ante Noyer. Where is Forster? Only 38. Goaltending stats, Sandstrom I don't really care about. Lennox there, 909, 283 is not too bad. Obviously, he's competing with Bjarnason to be our future starter, as well as that medium elite guy. Take a look at the entire league next. Robertson popped off. 121 points there at 50 goals. 94 overall now, still growing too. McKinnon, 109, then McDavid. Gaudreau Ranton also had 100 plus. Matthews, Hintz, 99. Ovi, 95. Do you have the most goals? He did 57. Defensive scoring here, McCarr again leads it, 91 as you expect, plus 33. He's looking at the Norris Trophy. Goaltending stats, Yorgi, 43 wins. Best save percentage, Mrazek, wow, on Chicago, 927. How is Chicago randomly doing good? That's why, again, I don't know. I think goalies, people say they matter. They do a little bit, but not much. Mrazek also had the lowest goals against. I was checking out Chicago. They had Seth Jones, and that's about it. Still on defense. Leo Carlsson, did he win the Calder? That'd be pretty crazy. Over Bedard. And okay, he had 10 more points than Bedard, who was minus 30 with the Sharks. Carlson there was only a minus 1. Cooley, who's actually just signed the Arizona Coyotes, probably going to be in this rookie class. He put up 57. Bowmik, 54. We had 2 of the top 4 rookie scorers. That's pretty sick. Especially, too, the fact that they were, like, both 18-year-olds right out of the draft. Fantilli there runs with the top 5. Very, very cool. You can see Marco Casper, Evangelista Rosti. So, I mean, there's some stuff to look forward to for sure with this team. I just can't believe how unlucky we got. I bet you entire league probably going to get top 16. Avalanche there on the President's Trophy, 110. You had 8 teams with 100 plus. Where are we? Yep, 16 right on, 90 points. That is so unlucky. Florida there makes it in over us. I mean, what a joke. Last place in the league is going to be the San Jose Sharks. So they have a chance to draft first overall back-to-back, getting Bedard and Celebrini. Goals for here, we're not the top, so probably could, add some more goal scoring. And then goals against here, we're actually the 3rd worst team. Okay, so if we just got the puck into the net a little bit more, we definitely would have been a playoff team. Like, look through their team's stats with us. Like, the only one that's even close, Buffalo, they're 87 points. I guess the Ducks too, but wow. Yeah, 90 points, 3rd worst goals against. We know we have to address that's goaltending, that's defense. Obviously, we kind of had those lower on purpose to try and miss the playoffs and, get a higher pick. But again, worst case scenario, we just barely missed. The AHL team as well, not making it. I can't believe 2 episodes in a row, not a single playoff. That's tough. And this comes as a bit of a surprise, guys. The Winnipeg Jets there with the 2024 Stanley Cup. Obviously, real life. They traded away Dubois, but, they brought in some players. Okay. Whew. I was really worried our pick would have been a top pick, but luckily, Montreal jumps from 2 to 1, then San Jose gets the second pick. You guys can see there, Calgary's picking 16 with our pick, so not the end of the world. Florida pick should be like, 17, 18, only, missed out on a couple spots there. Take a look at the awards next here. Also, too, should take a look at the playoff tree. So the Jets here beat the Stars in 7. Swept the back-to-back Stanley Cup winning Avalanche. Then they swept the Canucks before beating the Hurricanes there in 5. Wow, okay, so very dominant run by the Jets. The Dallas Stars there were their toughest matchup. And look at that, guys. Patty Kane is now 90 overall, so should definitely increase his trade value in terms of going for Michkov. Awards here, so I think we already know all the team awards. Individual, Robertson with Art Ross and the Hart. McCarr got the James Norris, 3rd straight year. Gaudreau, Lady Bing. Leo Carlson did get the Calder. Let's go. I kind of feel bad we're going to be trading him away, but Michkov hasn't played in the NHL yet, so we could still have Michkov win the Calder, especially if he does it at like 23. It'd be kind of funny, similar to like Kaprizov, Panarin. Scheifele there got the Conn Smythe. Vasilevsky back-to-back Vezinas. Georgiev, though, got the William Jennings. Sider, Real Masterton. Interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen him win that. Arizona coach there got the Jack Adams. Barkov, Selke, Robertson, Ted Lindsay, and then Ovechkin there with another Maurice Richard. I think I pointed out last season, actually, the fact that Coyotes weren't terrible. So interesting to see them now in the playoffs. Their coach there getting Jack Adams. So what we're going to probably do here, guys, is go to the draft, do whatever we do at the draft, and then after that, put the trade quickly on easy. Hopefully, able to make a trade for Michkov. I can't do it at the draft, as obviously every trade make the draft otherwise would be too easy, which is not fair. Retired players. Joe Thornton actually retires to the Bruins. How funny is that? Eric Stahl, James Neal. He helped us out a lot in my buyout team. You guys missed that one. Check it out. Andrew Ladd, Brian Little. I mean, mostly these guys are like LTIR. Mark Stahl actually finally retired. And he did the same year as his brother, which I think is pretty cool. Goaltending, Mike Smith, Ben Bishop. Yeah, most of these guys already LTI retired, so really nothing crazy. Marcel actually became a coach there. And starting the draft now, guys. Islanders actually are the 3rd overall on the block. Boston 4. I don't know what these teams are thinking. There's going to be some pretty good talent. Yeah, Celebrini's going to go first. This made-up guy, Mikhail Kenins from the Ukraine. Okay. Again, similar style Mikko Koivu, like the guy we drafted. NHL ready, but doesn't really matter, I think, because Koivu was a 2A forward. We got a sniper. Eisman's going 3. You got Helenas there at 4. Kiva Harju at 6. That is a steal. If we can somehow get up there and get him, definitely wouldn't say his style's like Hedman. I'm not sure who he would be, but that would be great. Demidov there. I'll try to surprise Helenas is actually above Demidov. I just upgraded his rating to hopefully make him go in the top 5. You got Catton there, Alex Zetterberg. All these guys are medium elites. I think Castle's medium elite too. Vessenheim there, same thing. Dickinson, I think, is medium elite. So the top 10-ish there, all medium elite. Jaretech high top 4. A lot of guys to choose from for sure. Gems here. This guy, medium top 6, 100. Might as well put a pin. Now, Eric Olson here could be high elite. I believe he's a medium elite goalie. Gonna go like 2nd round. Muser, I think's high top 4. He's gonna go mid 1st round. Alright, guys, so I'm not sure if the Boston Bruins are gonna go for this. It seems like a bit of a fleece if they do, but offering up the 17th overall pick, Labushkin, who obviously we just extended, but I think he might have been the curse for our team because as soon as we got him, we had those 7 straight losses, missed the playoffs, and then a 3rd round pick there for Arizona. The value's pretty equal to picks on the block. Trades rejected. Value just isn't there whatsoever. Okay, so even though it's pretty equal value, I feel like we're going to have to overpay, which is fine because obviously we're going to be getting a medium elite player, so it's worth it. I'm thinking I'd be willing to move on from Owen Tippett here with the 17 to get, potentially Kiva Harju. Definitely worth it. Save on his new contract. Trade still rejected. I just traded for Christian Kyrou. We could flip him here. Obviously, I want Kiva Harju more than Kyrou. We still have got, Grands and Bonk coming out for defensemen, so 17, Tippett, Kyrou for 4. Like, that's actually a pretty good offer now. They're getting a solid young forward, good prospect defenseman. They're dropping back quite a bit, though. Kind of reminds me of, like, that Sharks trade a couple years ago. They went from, like, 7 to 22 or whatever. Eiserman just taking 3rd. Okay, so we can still get Kiva Harju here. We gotta make this trade offer quick, though. So here you go, guys. 17 Tippett, Kyrou for the 4th overall. And they say yes. All right, so might have been a lot to give up, but I think it'll be worth it in the long run. Again, Helenas there's a decent forward. Same with Demidov. Demidov, honestly, I saw a lot of scouting reports are saying he's just kind of like the slightly worse version of Michkov, which is pretty high praise. Yeah, similar style there. Team with Solani. We could have, oh man, I'm wondering now, do we have like, a sick Russian duo, both, snipers on the wing? I feel like we already got enough forwards though. We're going to go Kiva Harju instead. We really need like a solid number 1 for the future. As you can see, 77 medium elite at the draft. I am curious, Demidov there. Helenas, 78 medium elite. Okay. I think he might have grown a bit. And then Demidov also at 78. Wow. So we got a guy 1 overall lower, but defenseman, harder position to play. I like our pick. And next year, guys, trying to trade the Detroit Red Wings to move up 17 spots in the 2nd round. Reimer's just there for the roster spot. Lennox they like. Again, we got Bjarnson. Also throwing in a 7th little cherry on top. The value's pretty equal. And they say yes. Okay, so perfect. The reason I made that trade will sim to our next pick here, number 39, early second round. And that's to get, oh, we could get Tidge again, which would be pretty cool. But no, we're actually taking Justin Poirier here from the queue. Should be a sick player. Yeah, 72 low late. Believe he's got some X factors. He's actually got a zone ability. So I'm surprised he drops that much just for being low elite. He's definitely like, you know, a little bit of a steal here with my roster. I forgot to take him last time. Didn't want to miss out this time. So that's a great pick there. We'll take a quick look at the rest of the first round. So you got Catton, Vassadinen, Dickinson, Caswell, 11 players there, all medium elite. It's kind of the opposite of the 2023 draft. This draft's got like, you know, a lot of solid players, bunch of medium elites, where the 2023 draft was like so top heavy, but then a bunch of just solid players behind it, like high top 6 forwards, high top 4 defensemen. But overall, I feel like, you know, the first round didn't go too bad. Vinny there actually taking the last pick in the first round by the Jets, 69 medium elite potential. I probably could have made a trade for him as well, but I feel like we're going to, you know, hope for the best with Bjarnason here. And so we're at pick number 82 now, guys, in the third round. I'm going to take a chance on this gem, Gabriel Beach. Hopefully he's better than medium top 6. Medium top 4, okay. Only 52 overall, though, but not bad. And next pick here, guys, in the fourth round, there should be a guy pinned that's available still. He is, okay, that just worked out. Stanislav Korobov. Good chance to be low elite. And he is low elite. Another lower rated guy, but don't mind that. Next pick here, probably taking the guy pretty early because we're picking, like, what, 160. He's in the 200s. Ralph Marchment. Could be medium elite. This would be an absolute steal. Medium bottom 6. Okay. That is fine. That was the last pick of the draft. I feel like overall that went very, very well. I didn't think, honestly, we'd have a chance to Kivaharju. Gave up some good players, but hopefully it'll be worth it. And so we're at the resign phase now, guys, with just under 20 million in cap space. All of our top players there are under contract. I really don't even know who needs a deal. I feel like pretty much everyone locked up. Walker, I mentioned, I don't want. I don't even want to look at the price. Holden drops in rating. He's now 37. Just letting him go as well. Kate's down to 78. That sucks to see, but should still be fine on the fourth line. Allison dropped to 77. Yeah, 1 year 800K. We'll give you a chance. Probably looking like an AHL player. Alex Nylander, I think he did fine in the AHL, so I'll give him a 1 year deal. Lazinski, there's 27, 77. Not worth signing. Kivaharju, I'd like to have probably in the AHL. Running the show, so we'll give him a max contract. And that's pretty much it for the skaters. Goalie-wise, Reimer we could sign to be the backup, or I guess kind of a tandem with McAnemy. Have Peterson be the AHL starter, because Sandstrom we're going to let go. Bjarnason we could sign, but there's really no reason to. He's just going to go back to junior anyways. Rene there is just way too low rated to play in the AHL, so I feel like Reimer, maybe we'll sign him. We'll see what other goalies are available in free agency, but yeah, we definitely need at least a couple there. And so there we go. Wade Allison said yes. As you can see, the game already has him in the AHL. Nylander they got in the NHL though, which is kind of funny. Kivaharju said yes too. So like I said, I think that was it, and we're just ready to go. 20 million in cap space. If we do sign anybody, I don't know. Like this team is in such a weird spot. Probably gonna be a short-term deal, as we're gonna have to shell out some money very, very soon. Carlson, of course, in a couple years. Cam York next year. Kivaharju in 3 years. Bowman in 2 years as well. And look at this, guys. Nick Deslauriers is down to 75 overall, making almost $2 million for 2 more years. It really makes no sense to buy him out. Like, let's take a look here. Yeah, 600K for 4 years. We're not going to be that good for the next 2. Plus, we have a lot more cap space for the next 2, so might as well wait. And now, guys, it's time for free agency. I definitely like free agency a lot more when we got money to spend. Sebastian Aho, no way. Did not get extended by the Hurricane. Now, in real life, he actually just did. Unfortunately, I started my franchise beforehand. Roslovich there wants 9.2 as an 86. That's an insane ask. Pavelski, 8 million. I mean, 88 overall. It's not too bad. Teravainen there. Connor Brown wants 7.2. Yeah, he was just popped off playing with McDavid or Draisaitl. He got 66 points there with the Oilers. Duchesne wants almost as much money as, you know, the Predators bought him out for. Sam Reinhart, 6.5 as an 87. That's actually a very good value looking at the rest of the players. Last year, he had 56 points. Very good defensively. 94 D awareness. 82 shot block, 92 stick check. I'm actually thinking about, you know, signing him for the long term, too. Like, he's only 28. Not that old. Gustav Forsling there, also 28. Florida Panthers losing a couple players. Obviously, the Hurricanes, though. Aho and Teravainen. That is crazy. Bertuzzi, Hanifin there. I mean, definitely want to bring in one defenseman. We'll just see kind of who makes sense. Tony DeAngelo would be kind of funny to bring him back. Brett Pesce, Carolina, just losing so many guys. Next year, guys, we'll take a look at goalies. Oh my god. I have never. Peter Mrazek wants 11.5 million. I mean, he did. Was he tied in wins in the league? Or I think it was save percentage. He was up there for something. Barely, like, staying in the league. One big year, up to an 88, and he wants to get paid. Goalies are so fluky like that. Behind him, Samsonov there. Luukkonen, RFA. I mean, that wouldn't be terrible. Have him and McAnemy, a couple Finnish goalies as our tandem. Obviously, Buffalo's got Levi. They probably don't need him. If we did that, we would just really need like an AHL backup. And so I just checked, guys. We know what the picks would cost to make an offer sheet on Lukin, and honestly, probably for the best. In terms of the core of this team, he's a bit older, so rather than gearing up assets for him, we could instead sign Antti Ranta, 1 overall less, 900k, have him split time with McAnemy. I think that'd be a great deal. 35, do a 2-year, like 950k. I think that's an awesome contract. Now, in terms of an AHL goalie, I was looking, there's a very good one available. He's usually available, I don't know why. Nico Dawes, 23.79, medium starter. I don't understand. Like, this guy should be like a top goalie prospect. We'll try and get him locked up here, 3 years, 900k. Again, I try to be nice, you know, give them back to teams, but at a certain point, the IGMs just can't help themselves. So, looking at the free agents now, guys, I was thinking, we've got the money. I want to go after Sebastian Aho here. My idea being, if we can sign him, awesome. We get like a superstar. How do you not make an offer? I feel like he gives us a good backup plan to trade for Michkov. If we trade him and Carlson, I think that's probably an overpayment, so it can maybe get something back. But ideally, don't have to use him. But if we do get him, obviously, kind of ensures we will get him. So 6 years, that's still 32. Like, that's not that bad. Another team interested at this price. I mean, Sebastian Aho, this is a ton of money for him. Sam Reinhart, I know I definitely want for sure. He wants 6.45. 5-year deal is pretty fair. Let's do 6.75 for Sam. 5 years. Again, leaves us with, you know, just about the right amount to get Aho. So, I want to keep it under 13. Let's try 12.75 for 6. This seems like a lot of money, but again, you know, we could probably trade away for sure Tarasenko if we do get Aho. To help us, you know, clear up some cap space or whatever. And it was kind of crazy, guys. I just realized those are the only 2 elite players in free agency, apparently. Everyone else is like medium top 6 or whatever. I did not realize that before. And now one thing to note, make that offer on Aho, is the fact that we're missing out on like any of these, you know, good defensemen. A lot of solid top 4 guys, like pretty much Hannafin all the way down to, wow, honestly, like DeMello there, even Shanker's not that bad, but you know, those guys, you know, there's usually some 83, 85 defensemen available every free agency. There's not usually a Sebastian Aho. So I feel like we got to go for the big fish here. Obviously, last year we did the same, but so much cap space to spend. Might as well use it. Antti Ranta comes in. Okay, so we got our goalie tandem, Dawes in the AHL. Hopefully he grows to at least an 80, so Peterson doesn't start as much as him. No way. Aho signed to the Seattle Kraken. We offered him 12.75. Like, I don't know how much of the Kraken offer him. Sam Reinhart, though, said yes. That is a big get for us. Wow, the Kraken there went over 13 million on Aho. That's crazy. And so now that we still have 14 million in cap space, we definitely sign a defenseman. Gostisbehere, we don't really need an offensive defenseman. I feel like Sanheim showed the first season he can do that. Plus we have Cam York. DeMello, though, very solid defensively. 92 D awareness. As I pointed out, we had the 3rd worst goals against in the league, so we need a guy like him. 4 years until he's 35. Okay. Let's try keep him under 5 million. See if he says yes. No other team's interested. Again, Gostisbehere is very solid, but I don't think our team needs him. And honestly, guys, before DeMello even says yes to us, let's go see if we can get Matthew Michkov. Now, I'm going to turn the trade difficulty down to easy. As I mentioned earlier, we got screwed not getting that, you know, 2nd first-round pick in 2023. Plus, we really should have him. There's really just kind of no proper way to do it. To get the players on your team, you literally have to, like, recreate everybody and then make the real prospects worse, which takes forever. I don't know if I'm, like, the hugest fan of that. So, let's see if we can land Matthew Michkov. Seth Jones is on the block. Korchinski's up to an 87. Now, I don't think he played for them last year when they had that unreal year. Yeah, he was in Seattle still. So Chicago's defense was Seth Jones, Connor Murphy, and that's it. Very similar to our defense, honestly, and yet they still popped off. And their top 4s were Athanasiou and Hall, as Teravainen they just signed. So, yeah, I don't understand the Sims sometimes. Michkov, 81 overall. They have him in the NHL now, so we really need to trade for him here. Make sure he stays in the AHL. Chicago's got 31 million in cap space. How are they not making a massive offer on Aho? Now, as you guys can see here, Leo Carlson's up to an 87 overall already. Played first line center, won the Calder, 68 points, makes sense. Trade value has gone up. So, unfortunately, with him going up, Sanheim went down. But, I mean, Patty Kane, there's a 90. On easy, let's see what they do. Something like 20-30 first rounder. Carlson and Kane, I think that's a pretty fair offer for Michkov. Trade's rejected still. I mean, Chicago has the cap space. I would throw in Tarasenko here. Carlson, Kane, Tarasenko in the first. We got Kane and Tarasenko for free, so basically it's Carlson in the first for Michkov. Trade still rejected. Alright, guys, I think this is like the last offer I can make for Michkov. So, same thing as before, plus I added Sanheim. Would have been great if we still had a bunch of trade value. We obviously dropped 86 overall. I mean, we are saving a bunch of cap, which is nice. About $22 million there. Let's see what the Blackhawks say. This is on easy difficulty, remember. Trade is rejected. I don't know if there's anything we can do here. And look at this, guys. The Montreal Canadiens paid Peter Mrazek almost $12 million. I can't believe that. Off of one good year. Only a 3-year deal, luckily, for Canadiens fans, but that's tough. Luckily, they got Celebrini first overall, so that's a consolation prize. And since I'm annoyed at Chicago, guys, I'm actually trying to trade Patrick Kane to his hometown team, the Buffalo Sabres, for Clark Caswell. So I got him on the block, 76 overall. Tore up the WHL last year. Oh my god. He averaged an assist a game, plus 54 goals. Are you kidding me? So if we can get him here for Kane, who's 35, even though he's 90 overall, his value is not the best. Obviously, don't really see us winning a Stanley Cup or anything. Also throwing in Korobov here, we just got in the 4th round. Low elite playmaker. I think it makes a lot of sense to get an elite player. See what the Sabres say? Trades rejected. Value on the table is too far off. I thought that was pretty fair. I'll throw in, I don't know, our 3rd round pick, 2026. There we go. Okay, so big time trade with Kane. Again, he wasn't really moving the needle anyway, so the Michkov trade, it's all going to come down to Carlson continuing to go up in rating. If one of these other medium elite guys also have a spike, we sign a big free agent, then we could probably put the trade through. And with Cates and Delorier both going down in rating, I feel like we could use some more 4th line forwards. Gergensen here, 81 overall, 1.77, 92 D or 190 stick check. Should be very good in that role. I mean, I'll give him 1.8 for 2 years. No one else is interested. I also saw a little bit lower here. Steve Lorentz, 79 overall, only wants 775k, 86 D awareness, 2-way forward. I mean, for that price, you can't go wrong. Basically, league min. We'll see what DeMello says. I'm still rattled, guys. Like, we should have gotten Aho. Definitely, I think if we offered him and Carlson on easy difficulty, they would have said yes for Michkov. Tony DeAngelo returned to Philly here with Zub for Couturier. Get out of here, Minnesota. I'm thinking that we're going to have a lot of money next summer, and as you can see, some crazy free agents coming up. Obviously, a lot of these guys will be signed, but as long as, you know, somebody 90 plus makes it through, we could sign them, trade them with Carlson for Michkov, pretend Chicago signed them, and then be all good, unless, you know, Carlson ends up being enough value as is. And there we go. DeMello did say yes. We got a defensive defenseman, got Gergensen and Lorentz. So I think now we're actually pretty good for next year. Wow. Look at this trade offer the Boston Bruins just made us. Jeremy Swayman, who's like an elite young goalie, a 2nd and a 3rd for Couturier and a 5th. I mean, Couturier's making $8 million for the next 6 years. If we do this, that's pretty much a total rebuild. But at the same time, like, Swayman's obviously a very good goalie. Last year, though, not the greatest numbers. Only 86 at 25. He actually hasn't been growing that much. Interesting. I feel like Couturier, one of the best 2-way forwards in the game when healthy. He's our captain. What are we paying him till? 6 more years till he's 37. That's crazy. It's a good offer from Boston, but again, goaltending's not that important. I'm going to say no. If we want to trade Couturier, I'd like to get back, I think, something better. And now next year, guys, we're doing something kind of crazy, and that's trading Terry Stanko to the Ottawa Senators for absolutely nothing. As I'm recording this video, he just signed with the Senators, 1 year, $5 million. So if I started this series literally 2 days later, Terry Stanko would not have been in free agency. So I feel like this is only fair. We also really just signed him to try and get Michkov. Again, you know, some people are going to think I'm crazy for that. It's fine, though. Our team is stacked with young talent. I feel like that was the right thing to do. So now next year, guys, I'm signing a few AHL defensemen. I think we only have 3 under contract. Also, if you look in the bottom left corner there, we've got almost $25 million in cap space. So yeah, definitely could have afforded Sebastian Aho, but that's all right. We'll try and make use of that in the next offseason. I think we do need one more guy, ideally someone that can grow a bit. Carlisle there, 24.77. That'll do. Alright, guys, so let's start next season now. As I mentioned, our forward group's actually kind of stacked, which is why I was willing to give away Tarasenko for nothing. As you can see here, a lot of good young players. Cutter Gauthier now an 85, making his rookie debut. And he's playing with Carlson and Bomick on that first line, getting +5. Definitely a young gun line. 19, 19, and 20. Like, let's see how they do. Second line, Konechny, Couturier, Reinhart. A very solid, like, 2-way line. Reinhart's got 94 D awareness. Couturier's 90. Konechny, 86. Isn't too bad. Third line there, Farabee, Frost, and Brink. Still very solid. We got Cates, Gergensen, Lorentz on the fourth line. Defensively here, Sanheim, Yorksler, top pair, getting a +5. DeMello, Grands, Attard, Labushkin. Hopefully, like, you know, bringing DeMello in can help lower that goals against. In terms of goalies, McAdam's down at 84. Dawson is actually 81. He won the backup spots. That's his role. He's actually tied in rating with Ranta, so I figured, what the heck. I'll have a couple of veterans in the AHL, Ranta and Peterson. Peterson's got 1 year left, I think, on that big contract of his. First line AHL is actually nasty. Forster's 83. Unfortunately, nowhere to play him because, like, Brink's just a bit better, 84. Not a fourth line guy, so he has to try up the AHL this year. Next year, we'll probably lose somebody trained for Michkov, so then he'll get the call up. Same with Stankoven, honestly. He's pushing for a spot, so we definitely have extra players. I think Konechny's expiring, so maybe look to move him. Matthew Woods on that first line too. Nylander, Abruzzese, Vesalainen's pretty solid. Desnoyers, third line, he did well last year. Hallison's now fourth line right wing. They had Laurier there, fourth line left wing. And then defensively, we're actually looking really good. Kiva Hardy's on the top pair. Everyone's 77 plus. So I feel like this team's got a lot of potential. Are we going to make the playoffs this upcoming season? Probably not. With our luck, we'll probably, be the best team in the East again to not make it. But as you can see at the bottom there, like almost $27 million in cap space. Really, no one huge to re-sign next year. So like I said, we're hoping a Matthews, a Draisaitl, somebody like that falls to free agency. We can pick him up. Ideally, we could pick up a couple of those guys. That way we can trade one from each club and keep the other. But I'm sure you guys the ratings here for next season. And then that'll do it for this episode. As you can see here, we've got 89 offense, 90 defense, 81 goaltending. And Leo Carlson's actually the highest rated player on the team at 87. So we'll see how he does in the sophomore year. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, leave that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the sub button down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.